Welcome back to Testament of the New Sister Devil anime review, part 2. This I'm reviewing the last 5 episodes of season 1 for the show. Basically, this one adapts the Zoolander arc. The Zoolander arc, yeah. Here's the thing about this particular character. You want to know who voices this character? The awesome Kyle Herbert. Yeah, and by far the second time I've ever seen it where he voices a villain. Which is quite interesting because the only series I've heard him in where he voices a villain is Bleach, where he voices Sosuke Aizen. Possibly by far one of the best villains I have ever seen in an anime. Zaust himself, he's pretty interesting for what he is. He's only in this one story. He did appear briefly in the previous story, but that was became just to introduce him here. But in case you're wondering, does this guy reappear after this in the light novels? Nope, this story was the only major story he actually appeared in before they got rid of the character. What's the story for this one? Well, Mio herself is kidnapped by... Well, first basically they have where Yuki comes back from the hero village saying that, yeah, she's been appointed as Mio's observer, and she's living with Basara, Maria, and Mao. Yep. And she wants to make the same pact with Basara as basically Mio did with Basara. So then we have the crazy stuff that happens with Basara and Maria, who just happens to come to the school and just wanted, in case you're wondering. Now, here's something I do love about this particular set of episodes. They are very accurate to Volume 3. My guess is because they actually took their time with these episodes, yes. Which is quite interesting because I think they kind of rushed a bit through the first couple books, but in the case of this one, they actually took their freaking time with this one. Oh, yes. And, in the case of what happened with it, they go around the school, check out, the girls' bathroom. Boss doesn't want to be in there. Goes to the girls' locker room. Now, of course, we also have it where Yuki and Mio decided to do a swimming contest. And, of course, they got the pool. They change out of their swimsuits. Of course, there's a reference to... Of course, there's a mentioning by Yuki that is common when I've seen these anime. Women talking about their chest size. Yep. Yeah, that's a common recurring thing when it comes to anime. Though, the thing is, I'm not going to say anything much about Yuki's breast. They're basically, from what I can tell, regular breasts I've seen for women in the series. While in the case of Mio, she's got big breasts. But I'm not going to wait further than that. Yep. And we also have Maria and... who just happened, of course, prior to them, of course, while they're coming back, they have Maria, and Basara in the girls' locker room. And Maria decided to do something very silly, like putting Miles' panties on Basara's head. And then, girls coming, so hide in the locker, and then have Maria strip down to her underwear and start to pleasure Basara. Because she can. And then, after everybody leaves, Maya says, tells her friends, go ahead, I'll be fine. Opens locker up, it's Basara and Maria. And, of course, Basara is still seen with the panties on his head. Of course, Basara himself gets slapped. Maria gets bopped in the head a few times. And then she starts... let's just say, getting very agitated. Well, basically sexually. So, Basara takes her to the shower room. He proceeds to use the shower thing on her chest to calm her down. Of course, he also takes it off her top. Takes it part of the thing as well. We don't see anything more of that. And then we later on see Maria talking to Lars for some reason. Yeah, it's revealed later that apparently she got lost, so she decided to talk to him. Okay? And then something really odd happens, because apparently Miles' friends find out that he is sort of being with Mio. So one of her friends tried to seduce him. Luckily enough, Yuki and Mayo basically come by to rescue them. Now, prior to this, they actually do have Yuki do the ceremony. And, of course, as a basically reward for coming there, Maria gets to show her, basically, Maria showed Mayo, show that Mayo, basically, her recharging thing of basically sexual pleasure. Yeah, showing the video from the previous arc. Yeah, Mayo gets embarrassed by this. Of course, they do perform the ceremony where they have Yuki put on a corset. At least some kind of strange looking underwear. Apparently, this was Maria's idea. So, they perform the ceremony, and she is once again have her character refuse to kiss the master's hand. So, she becomes sexually active. So, calm her down. How? Groping her butt. Because that's her weak spot, her butt. For Mayo, it was her breast. For Yuki, it's her butt. And they describe basically doing with her butt just similar to what Basra does with Mayo's breast. Then she comes down, it's like, hey, why don't we go to the bathroom and bathe? Yep, and then stuff becomes really freaking nuts. Yep. And of course, the next day, that's when the whole betrayal thing. Of course, Yuki decides not to harm them. Eventually, Mayo herself is kidnapped by Maria, who actually betrays them. Yeah, the reasoning for this is revealed later, because her mother was taken by Zost. Oh yeah, and this is also the same guy who killed Mayo's adopted parents, and she really wants to kill him. Yeah. Now, I should point out, though, in the manga adaptation of the scene where they have interact, Zoust actually tries to strip her. Yes. He doesn't get very far. In the light novel, he doesn't do this at all. They just added it in because the manga basically does a lot more sexual stuff than the actual books themselves. Yep, talks to her for a while, and then of course, the whole night basically where Yuki's having her first night is basically brought past her servant, Zest is spying on them, and it's like, man, I really want this instead of basically being that old guy. Why would I be with him? That's what she's thinking. And of course, Zell's 5 minutes later, and well, they actually changed a line here, like one word. I get to a little bit. So, we have Basra and Yuki rescue Mayo and Maria. So, they break in, and of course, Basra is handed over to Maria, who proceeds to turn to her adult self. Yeah, because she unlocked this and get ready to for a few minutes. This might make it look like she acted for it longer. Oh yeah, and in case you're wondering, is this scene basically with Basra being very sexual with her? Yeah, it's completely accurate from the book. Yeah, though they actually dedicate, like with the stuff in the previous episodes, they dedicate a whole freaking section to this particular thing. Like, I'm not going to describe basically what happens here, but this scene is very accurate. Basically, he's just groping her a lot. Yeah. And then pretty much then they start fighting right after they finish their pleasure. And Maria proceeds to almost nearly break his ribcage thanks to her succubus super strength. And while Mayo breaks out of her chains, fights Zost. And of course, then Zost does something basically he does both in the light novel, and he does this also in the manga adaptation of this, where he proceeds to hit Yuki and hit Zost, but not hit Mayo, and he refers to Zest as trash. I should point out, though, that's actually a word change, because in both the light novel and the manga adaptation, he refers to it simply as worthless. In the English dub, trash. Okay, that's an okay word change. I think anybody who has watched English dub and actually has read the light novels and read the manga probably think, though, yeah, that's not let's say a very drastic change. It's a minor word change. Change one word, but mostly it's the same scene. And then, of course, Basra himself shows up thanks to his banishing shift. and fights Zeus, and Maria fights him too. Maria is actually the only one who actually lands a good blow on him. Yep. Though basically Maria also fights another demon in another episode, for example, by one of the heroes. Eventually he's defeated. Well, this is of course, then after Boss was apparently killed, though he actually survives, and Mio gets extremely upset and proceeds to almost nearly murder the man who actually killed her without the parents. Lucky enough, Basra basically talks her down from this, and then he's transported away, handed over to Lars, though something really weird happens. A giant creature consumes his whole frickin' mansion. Though they get to the core of the damn thing, which apparently is also in the guy's bedroom for some reason. Oh yeah, and it's revealed that Zeus is basically sort of like a creation, basically some experiment, but she's able to basically, thanks to breaking out from her former master. Of course, she has a symbol on her chest that you see frequently. At the end of this one, the symbol is gone. I'll get to that in a minute. They get to the core. It looks like Zeus was basically going to sacrifice himself, but no. Basra pushes him away, and then he jumps up and slices at the core, destroying the thing, and then Lars takes away Zeus to be tortured and then killed. And of course, Lars reveals this is actually part of Basra's plan. In exchange for his help, he gets to kill him, and Basra gets to watch. Yes. Yes, he does. And, of course, they had this really cool scene later. And then we have a really hilarious, a really interesting scene. Zeus is simply sitting on Basra's couch, just figure out what she's going to do. It's like okay, live a normal life. And, of course, you have Maria's mother, who actually is saved by Lars. Yeah, they actually have him save her in the most apparently he found a way to bypass the traps of her cage. He did. Apparently it's electrified. Oh yeah, and of course actually he kidnapped her family. He kidnapped her mother. As for if he get kidnapped by anybody else, it's never specifically revealed. Even the light novel basically I was confused about this, where they said Maria's family. They apparently just kidnapped her mother. Yeah. Who is also succubus as well, just like she is. Her name is Sheila. Yes, Sheila. Which is, for when I've heard the name, it's... For when the only time I've heard the name Sheila is actually in the film Crocodile Dundee. Yeah. Though I'm sure it's pronounced something. It sounds like Sheila. That's what it sounds like in English dub. But yeah, that's the only time I've heard the name, basically, is in Crocodile Dundee. I know because I've seen the film. It's an awesome film. I highly recommend watching it. Yeah, it's basically Australia goes to New York. Yep. And then they get home, and of course, his mother's sleeping, and of course, Basra checks on Mio, who has something in his head, basically acts like a control, and then he starts making out with her, almost look like they proceed to do something more, and then he kisses her, and he stops, and then, he apologizes and says, okay, I'll forgive you if you hold me and kiss me. And before she's about to do it, Yuki shows up at the door and proceeds to kiss him as well. Yep. Yeah, and then Maria shows up. Well, Maria basically says, okay, it's time to go off. And of course, he brings him back to the room and says, whose side do you want? Of course, Zest basically says to come in as well, because why not? Though she doesn't get in this action. And it's like, whose side do you want? Mine or Yuki's? She's like, neither. And proceeds to kiss Basra too. Okay, 3 beautiful women kiss Basra in the same episode. But not Zest. She's the one who doesn't. Don't worry, they do something similar to this later, believe it or not. Though it's particularly much weirder. Yep. Then she goes off with Maria's mother. And don't worry, she's going to come back, but with completely different attire. How do I know this? I've read the light novels. Well, basically read the book 6. And I've read the manga too, so there's that. And we have this really cool scene of Jin showing up. Yeah, a guy who only appeared he's only appeared a couple times this whole season, and basically he appeared in the first episode. After they appeared once, a couple times for via voiceover. This is his first full appearance. He appears you see the new king, the new demon lord. His name is Leohart. He's informed of what happened. then he goes to throw. Apparently, he sees Maeve's board basically knocked down. He sees Jin sitting on his throne. It's like, hey. It's like, and he's like, oh, this isn't Jin, basically the awesome hero. Well, someone like, huh, the current demon lord knows my name. We need to have a conversation about what your people did to my kids. Yeah, what a way to end the season with this awesome scene of having Basra's father confront the demon lord. Awesome. Yeah, great way to end the season. And I would say of the 3 books they adapted from the season, book 3 is by far the most accurate. Yes, they basically did a fantastic job adapting this. Book 1, I think they did a pretty good job too. I think book 2, they kind of rushed it a bit. Though I think a lot of the hero stuff, a lot of the fighting in book 2. I would say that the second arc of the series is basically a mixture of what was left from book 1 and mostly the entirety of book 2. That's just my personal guess. This arc is like all straight book 3. Now, how long was book 3? 328 pages. That could explain why the fact they actually adapt this thing for this, why it took 5 episodes to adapt this particular book. Though, don't worry, they actually do more adaptation later. And surprisingly enough, book 6 actually adapted for the next thing I'm going to review, which probably won't come out till tomorrow, the OVA. Yep, the OVA. I'll probably review it tomorrow along with Black Clover and just those 2. Yeah, I'm only planning just 2 videos. I'm also definitely going to be going back to Inuyasha tomorrow to finish the OVA. And I'll be back to this series after I finish up the 3rd season for Inuyasha. But yeah, great first season for the show. I'm looking forward to watching the OVAs, all 3 of them, and the 2nd season for the show. Yep. Now, so far I haven't got any comments about this particular series yet, probably because I just posted the first video today, and I don't know if there's been any comments yet. Like, when I posted my reviews for High School DxD, I got comments on them, like almost every one of them. Like, everyone I posted, basically, this one guy kept posting a lot, basically criticizing how I was reviewing High School DxD, though I got a little bit better with it. And he didn't do it after I finished up, once I got the book, 22, I think it was, he pretty much stopped commenting on my videos. He hasn't appeared since then, per se. Though he was commenting on reviews basically partway through when I got to season 2, I think it was 3 I had gotten to. That's when he started commenting on my videos. And I don't know if this guy's ever seen the series at all. And I personally have spoken to him via comments. Yeah. This guy did provide me some very accurate information when it came to High School DxD. Now, in the case of what I've heard about this particular series, I'm not sure how they adapted books 4 through 7. Well, they didn't adapt book 6 for that season. That was up for the OVA. Yeah, but the only reason why there's no more stuff for the show is because the studio's out of business. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if another studio picked this up. I mean, what studio would I like to see pick this up? Probably Passionate. That might be good. What I think Studio Bones might pick it up? Probably. I mean, I don't think there's anything against them picking up. Though it'll be kind of weird to use their animation style for this series. The only one I can think of is probably the company who did the series Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Yeah, that's the only one I can think of. Basically, just those few studios. I don't think Studio Para basically touched this series because the thing is, the series I've seen they adapted, they've only adapted just manga. I don't know if they ever adapted these series based on any light novels per se, but they have adapted ones based on manga. I mean, one of the shows I review, our regular review, are made by them, Boruto and Black Clover. All the rest are done by different studios. Like, take for example, One Piece. That's done by Toei. My Hero Academia is done by Studio Bones. Case Closed is done by some other studio. I don't think it's this studio. I think it's some other studio does that one. And of course, Studio Dean does 79 Cents currently. Yeah, but who knows? But me personally, I want Passion to do it because they did a good job with season 4 for High School DxD. And I think they might do a good job with this. And I looked at basically what they did since then. They haven't done very much. Yeah. So, not much else to say about this. Great episodes. Okay, so That's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for tomorrow with just 2 videos. The OVA for this season and Black Clover. Okay, to the next view. Bye.